Music, yeah, well, I need.
Just for him, you need your glasses.
I need. I just wrote down a few things. I didn't want to get too long. I mean, God bless him, he lasted 101.5 years. So there would be just so much to tell and so much to talk about that it would just, we just couldn't do that here. But I wrote down, I'm not here bemoaning the fact that my father has died, although it selfishly makes me very sad that I've lost him. I feel that it's more of a celebration of the fact that he lived. He had a life that spanned over 101 years. He was born in Caruaru, Brazil, in a time where the jungles were being homesteaded and enveloped in plantations. He worked the farms as a boy, worked in Recife, worked in one of the cities in Brazil, Recife, putting fish in the water containers so that they could eat the mosquitoes for drinking water. He worked in a bakery, he worked as a busboy, he worked as a waiter, he worked for the trolley system, all this before he crossed his mid-teens. And then he found his calling when he lied about his age to join a cousin who was working aboard a freighter. After apprenticing for room and board for several voyages, he was officially hired on. He worked freighters and traveled the world, going to countries and islands that most of us can only hope to visit sometime in our lives. During World War II, the ships he worked on brought supplies to our troops. He participated in the D-Day landings, ferrying transports to the beach under fire. When the war was over, he became an American citizen, and he made a home base with a group of his friends in an apartment in downtown Brooklyn, and traveled for time. Traveled from the southernmost point of South America through Cuba and the entire eastern coast of North America. He was a veteran of many trips through the Panama Canal to the west coast of North America, the South Pacific. He was shipwrecked in Russian waters, and after surviving with a small group, was rescued and convalesced in a Russian hospital for over a month. He married my mom and brought her into the U.S. to settle in Brooklyn, starting in the room of that apartment, that shared apartment, until they could find one of their own. He fathered 3 children, brought over an aunt and an uncle to the U.S. to be raised as part of our family, and was the patriarch of the family as it grew. He is, now here's where you get a whole spree. He and my mom sheltered and helped many young families new to our country get their start. He is a godfather many times over.
Yep.
He would always light up at the sight of a child. He always enjoyed any party or gathering, especially if there were drinks involved. He loved to work in the garden. He could fix just about anything. It may not be pretty, but somehow he could always make it work. He would always put something together where it would be functional again. He outlived all his buddies. He survived the huge transition of the death of the love of his life, my mom, and came to live with Betty and I, and extended his family even further. He is survived by his children, grandchildren, nieces and nephews, and those that he had befriended, all of whom loved him with all of his heart. Cyrilo Roque, though throughout my life I've called him Papai. It means daddy in Portuguese. And so too our friends and family have always known him as that. And so he is Papai to so many people. He is my hero, my Papai. He has lived his life to a fullness that the rest of us could only hope for, and I will miss him.